Have you ever said yes when you wanted to say no and then carried this guilt for days, weeks, or even months? Or maybe you said no but then still felt guilty. And a lot of people think that they don't know the right words, they don't know how to say, but it's not about words. The reality is that they are deep down betraying themselves. And once you do that, your body knows, your nervous system knows, you express yourself with different emotions, and people also feel it, although nobody talks about it. And once you do that, your body knows it, your nervous system knows it, your emotions reveal it, everything. And people notice it too. They feel it, although nobody says a word about it. So in this video, I want to show you how it works, why it happens, and what to do exactly to say no, standing your ground without any feelings of guilt, of self-betrayal, so confidently, and so that people respect you and you respect them. By the way, this is a shrinked version of an hour and 40-minute video, so if you want to dive deeper into explanations and get this deep feel about the issue, feel free to click the link in the description to the playlist. So most people don't say yes because they truly want to, they say yes because of imaginary consequences that their brain generates. And they think, what if he fires me? What if he gets angry at me? What if she gets angry at me? What if I won't get a bonus? What if I won't get help later? What if I get even beaten up? And these thoughts drive you crazy, and you start thinking about that the life is like so violent, so dangerous, and you're afraid to stand up for yourself. But in fact, it's not true. The reality is very different, completely different. And sometimes our brain gets so sneaky that it creates these chains of thoughts like, okay, I'll say yes, they will appreciate it later, remember my accommodation, and someday in the future will reward me for it. So just because of these tricky fantasy movies in their brains, people don't say no when they truly want to, they say yes, they comply. And they start to run this what if, what if, what if. And these what ifs own your behavior. And here's the part that most people miss. Even if you say yes politely, and it sounds really solid on paper, your body changes, your voice changes, your eye contact changes, your emotions change, your reactions change, everything starts. Even your thoughts change, the way you're thinking. And guess what? People see it. Even if they don't see it visually, they feel it with their gut feeling. This guy is not himself right now. It's like, imagine someone hates carrots. You invite this person to eat some carrots with you. And this person comes because he wants to please you or whatever, for any reasons, but he wouldn't come genuinely. And you see, like, he's not really happy about eating carrots. Something's wrong. Maybe you don't know that he hates carrots, but you see that something's wrong. And instead of like, you're telling jokes or you're discussing something serious, creative, and this person is not just following your vibe. It's like something's preventing him from being relaxed, fully relaxed. So you yourself will feel this right away because you know when people enjoy everything, how like it just feels, and you know it. So they know it about you as well. So once you notice that, what do you write in your mind? You don't say, oh, well, this person is nice, he's just supporting me and like I will reward him later. No, your subconscious is recording the fact that this person is weak, and is not weak for me or physically, he's weak for himself. He can't stand up for himself and tell me like, dude, I don't like carrots. You want to meet with me? Let's do something else, or like, let's meet another day. That's the biggest problem. Now, here's the shift. You can say yes from strength. You can say yes from weakness. You can say no from strength. And you can say no from weakness. So it's not about saying yes or no. It's about saying something or acting somehow from the position of strength or from the position of weakness. It's not about words at all. And when you're coming from the position of weakness, you're coming as emotional, explanational, you're trying to find some reasons, the third person or third party reasons to not do something. But when you're coming from strength, when you have that strong position, you come in a calm manner, confident, without any explanations at all, not extra explanations, just without explanation. And people feel it. And the cool thing is that when your position is clear and solid, you do not need to think how should I say it? Because you don't care about their reaction, you care about your world. You just think, oh, I don't like it. And say just no, I don't want to go there. And you say, because I just hate carrots, bro. I just don't like carrots. If you really want to eat carrots, I'm not the right person to pick. So, but when you're coming from the position of weakness, you say, yeah, sure, let's meet. Okay, yeah, I'll make up some time. The first thing you need to acknowledge, understand, absorb it, and digest it is that you're not obliged. You are not obliged to anything. You're not obliged to tolerate their bad behavior. You're not obliged to tolerate any food that you don't like. You're not obliged to stay in a place that you don't like. You're not obliged to tolerate any people around you that you don't like. The vibe. Anything. If you don't want to sleep, don't sleep. If you don't want to eat, don't eat. If you don't want to go there, don't. If it's genuine, I'm not talking about like, well, I don't care. That's fine. If you don't care, you decide like maybe you can, but I'm not talking about, well, I don't care. If you want to support your friends and you don't really care, you can go with them because you'll find your fun there anyways. So digest this. That you're not obliged to anything. So digest this. You're not obliged to anything. So digest this. You're not obliged to anything. You're not obliged. And a lot of people, they treat any request like it's some kind of moral burden. It's not. It's just a freaking request. It's like if you ask someone to do something, you're not expecting them to say, oh yeah, for sure. You're not expecting them to bend and serve you, betraying their own world. No, you're expecting yes or no. And you know this. So why the hell do you think that they are expecting always a compliance from you? So a request is a request, period. The second thing, once you understand that you are not obliged, and obviously they are not as well, you should separate two things. Their intentions are theirs, your desires are yours. Their wills are theirs. What they want is what they want. And your boundaries, your desires, your intentions are yours. These are two different worlds. There are no strings attached. Nothing. Absolutely separate. Standalone world. And if someone wants something and it doesn't cross with your values, desires, whatever your mood or something else, no strings attached. You're not obliged and they're not obliged to get offended or act weirdly, then they will come out like strange. These are two separate worlds unless there's agreement between two of you within this field. And this is where people get twisted up. Just because someone wants something from you, that doesn't mean that you are guilty of not wanting the same thing in return. You have your own boundaries and people should respect them. And here comes the part that changes everything. At this stage, most people become uncomfortable and they either keep silence and comply silently, or they start talking. They explain, they justify, they apologize, they come up with some details nobody asked for. And the more they explain, the weaker it sounds because our explanation means only one thing, because they don't believe that their own position is enough on its own. But in fact, in reality, it's more than enough. I repeat it again. You do not believe that your own position itself is enough. Now you have to rewind it and say that my position is more than enough on its own. And you know what? Because you have your sheer will. And this sheer will is the absolute confidence in yourself. It's absolute. And the strongest argument if you don't want to do something is just saying, I don't want to. I just don't want to. It's like taking a piss. Imagine anytime someone asks you about something. Hey bro, let's go. Now you're coming with us. Imagine they're asking you to take a piss. You don't really want to. Like, you have no liquid inside your butt. What would you say? Like, the fuck? I don't want to. They say, why not? Let's go. Take a piss with us. You're like, I just don't want. I just don't fucking want. Period. They can't do anything about it. Like, why? Why don't you want? Just because. So understand this one thing and incorporate it into your brain, install it, that my sheer will is more than enough on its own. Period. Why? It doesn't matter. I know at this point it might sound somewhat terrifying, but the next steps will clarify everything. And actually, the next step that you need to understand, it's the trickiest part. It's the crucial part. It's clarification. So whenever you don't really want to do something, you want to reject someone or something, the only thing that you do is you clarify. And you clarify your position for them and their position for you, because you don't know each other positions. And clarification is crucial. Clarification is a crucial stage to resolve this conflict. So how do you do it? Instead of long emotional explanations, different statements, you just ask a question. Most of the time it's a question. You ask one simple question. And the best explanation about this stage would be an example. So imagine you're on a date and your date, for some reason, decided to raise a voice on you in an angry manner. And it's not part of your value. You don't like people who yell at you. So instead of stomaching it, instead of tolerating it, instead of getting angry, offensive, or defensive, you just don't do anything because, first of all, you don't understand why did they do it? What's the reason? Maybe it's not you. Probably it's not you. And also, this person might not know that your values do not relate to yelling. So you ask a simple question. Hey, do you enjoy speaking with a raised voice? Would you like me to yell as well? That's it. With such a question, you clarify both positions. You're telling this person, first of all, that you have different values because you asked this question. And second of all, you're putting this person in a defensive position. You are testing them now because there are two scenarios. Either they continue to yell or they start to explain and excuse themselves. And obviously, if they continue to yell, that means, yeah, I love yelling and I will do it forever. So if they yell, that means that they love it. For example, they're not even answering your question. They continue to yell. That's it. You can stand up and leave right away. There's nothing to wait for. But if they acknowledge, a different communication start to happen. And the person might say, yeah, sometimes I get emotional and it's fine. And you could say, I don't tolerate this. It's not part of my values. And then it's up to them to decide whether they treat you as you want to be treated or you leave. That's it. And guess what? When people genuinely like you and they want to be around you, they will respect your strong boundary. And obviously, you will respect their strong boundary. And notice that you're not coming across as offensive, whining, groveling. You're coming from a respectful and self-respectful position in a calm manner, standing your ground. And the thing is that you don't need to learn any questions by heart. They will start to come from within, and at the end of the video, I'll tell you what to do to practice this. And here comes the next step where most people fall apart. They ask the question, but then they're not really ready to stand on the answer. Because if you have boundaries, it implies some consequences. And if there are no consequences, that means your boundaries are just empty words. You're just like, nothing. You can say no, and then you still do it. Like, why did you say no? Because if you say no, there are consequences. That means you're not doing this and you will be doing something else, and that's it. You're thinking about your own world. And the consequences, and the consequence that you should live with every single moment in your life is that you are willing to walk away anytime, at any moment, if somebody's values are not aligned with yours. And I'm talking about like core value. So if you don't like something, your value is that other people respect this and they act appropriately. So if someone yells at you, you ask the question and they continue to yell, you stand up and leave. No explanations needed. Your explanation is actually the fact that you stood up and walked away. That was like a theater without any words, like cartoons without any words. You understand a lot of things without words. This is the explanation. This is the language you speak when you have concrete boundaries. So if someone's yelling at you and you ask a question and they continue to yell at you, just stand up and leave. That's it, done. You will feel so happy for yourself. You feel so proud of yourself. You just like feel so good because you will be going to do something you truly want to do without this feelings of self-betrayal, guilt, and something else. You will feel proud of yourself and happy about something you're about to do. And here's the final part that people don't really want to hear and others never tell. Your life will change drastically and you will lose a lot of things. You'll lose a lot of people, you'll lose a lot of opportunities, you might even lose your job, and probably you will in the end. But treat it but once you build yourself, you will start acquire way better things, way better people, way better opportunities. Your life will become cleaner, stronger, calmer, and more authentic. You'll surround yourself with things and people that actually relate to you. They respect you way more. You'll surround yourself with people who respect you. Not just respect you more, they just respect you. And guess what? Once you surround yourself with better people, you'll have more options and you'll start to compare like, hey, I don't like this treatment and I know how others treat me in this specific situation. And it will be way much easier to stand up and walk away because you already have some selection, you have options. And when you have good options, obviously you're not choosing the best from the worst. You're choosing the best from all the spectrum of options. And one important thing that I haven't seen any even coaches or whatever in different situations say this, but it's very important. You should start small with very simple situations where you start to practice, and I'll tell you the practice later. And then you grow bigger. So if you don't like something about your work and your boss is an asshole and is like using you, you should, after watching this video, you should not become like this kind of like a super confident, arrogant person, like knocking. And you should keep in mind one very important thing. Very important thing. And for some reason, others never tell this. Like no coaches, I heard that they would say something like this when they advise someone. You start small, and very simple, like simple, crazy simple situations. And then you grow bigger. So if there is some tension at work and you just watch this video, just behave the same way deliberately until you reach this level, until you're ready, until you feel this. In the long video, I thoroughly explain this. So if you want more explanations, click the link below. So to wrap it up, first, you need to acknowledge that you're not obliged. Second, their position is theirs. Your position is yours. Their demands, wills, intentions are theirs. Your boundaries are yours. Third, it's not about words. It's about your inner position, because you can act a certain way without saying any words. You can just leave. The actions will come from your inner position. Fourth, you stop over-explaining and you clarify the situation. You clarify the position of both of you, yours and theirs, with a question or several questions. Most of the time it's a question. And the fifth part, you are willing to walk away, have the sheer will to walk away. So now, before I share how to practice, if you found this video helpful, click this thumbs up button and share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you have someone in mind who might benefit from this video, feel free to share it with them. And if you'd like to learn more about how to improve your position in other life situations, feel free to subscribe and press that ring bell button. Now, how to practice. Imagine past situations. Start with simple ones and recent ones. And then imagine them, close your eyes, imagine that they are happening now, and replay the picture. But now you imply all the things that you've learned in this video and replay, but with your scenario now, this time. For example, someone offered you to try a chocolate bar, and you don't really like chocolate bars, and try to come up with different questions. That's a very important practice. You need to learn and train your brain to come up with questions in these situations. Someone's trying to give you something to eat, to try to take a bite, and you don't really want to. And then you ask a question, why do you really want this? Or you can ask, wait, but what's good about chocolate in the first place before I try it? And just generate different questions and imagine how this person would be answering them, or how he or she would be acting after you ask this question. And then practice answering, no, I just don't want to. Why? Aren't you respecting me? Don't you like me? You don't like me, that's why you don't want. No, I respect you, but I have my own position as well. That's it. And you just acknowledge that if people can't accept your position, that's not the people you want in your life. And then go to more difficult situations from your past, replay them in your head with the implementation of the things that you've learned, and practice walking away, just silently walking away. Practice to letting people go from your life. And then once you start getting results in real life, come back to this video and write a comment about your personal experience and how you started handling situations from the position of strength. That's it for now. See you in the next one.